Today, we're going to dive into my very own book tag. I created this tag just to have a little fun, and I'm hoping you guys will join me. My name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. Question number one: physical books, audiobooks, or ebooks? For me, that would be audiobooks. Audiobooks for me don't hold me to one space. And that is super helpful for me because I can move around, take care of tasks, run errands, do all sorts of things while all listening to a book. Now, I do read physical books, but I probably spend more time with audiobooks than I do physical books. Question number two: what are you currently reading? So I am currently reading Blue Rage Black Redemption by Stanley Tookie Williams, and I just finished The Yellow Wife. And so right now, the two books are The Care and Feeding of Hungry and Ravenous Girls and Blue Rage and Black Redemption. Number three: how do you decide what to read next? So, since my reading slump, I have come up with a plan to help me get out of the reading slump and hopefully stay out of it. I am going to read one book from my TBR and one random book. And so I'll be reading two books all the time. And hopefully that'll help me to stay out of the reading slump. When I like something, I tend to stay there. And I think I stayed in urban fiction a little too long. So had to move away from that and get into something else. Number four: who influenced your reading? So my reading was influenced by my aunt. I spent a lot of time with my aunt for as far back as I can remember. When I was a little girl, she was in college, and so she did a lot of reading. She also read to me when I was about 8 or 9, maybe 10, I don't know. I remember she used to have this book that sat on her nightstand. I thought the book was huge. Like, to me, the book was this thick. It really wasn't, but I was a kid. But I thought to myself, I'm going to read that when I grow up. So it turns out that that book was Roots by Alex Haley, and I have read that book multiple times. As I got older, my aunt and I would share books. At this point, she has passed on. So, question number five: what book would you give to your younger self? Now, I had time to think about this question. The book I would give to my younger self is called The Color of Hope. The Color of Hope by Kim Cash Tate. And The Color of Hope is about faith. And so, if you keep your faith, you won't lose hope. At least that's the way I see it. And I would give that to my younger self. Question number six: name the first three books that come to mind. Yellow Wife, Capadonna, and Misunderstood. Misunderstood is by Cinda John. Capadonna is by Jaquel J. And The Yellow Wife is by Sadiqa Johnson. I can't remember her name, but I'll put it up so you guys can see it just in case. Number seven: what book would you be a character in? I would be a character in the book Hurricane Summer. Hurricane Summer paints such a beautiful, vivid picture of Jamaica. I do want to go there, but this book just it made me feel like I was there. It is so descriptive, so beautiful. So yeah, I would definitely like to be in it. And the book was really good. There's a young lady who is a character in the book, and I feel for her. If I was in the book, I would offer her whatever support I could. I know that probably sounds crazy, but that's just how I feel about it. Number eight: what is the best book you've ever read? That would be a hard question. I don't have one specific book that I think is the best book I've ever read. Maybe the best book of 2024 that I've read so far. I would say A Summer in Savannah was really good. There are so many good books. Number 9. What was the last book you bought? So here just recently, I purchased Good Luck Girls by Charlotte Nicole Davis. Then We Reaped and Savaged Bones by Jasmine Ward. Number 10. What's a book you thought you would hate but you end up loving? And that would be Hurricane Summer. I thought the cover was beautiful, which is what drew me in. Once I read the synopsis, and I thought, I don't know. But I actually enjoyed it. It was a really, really good. Number 11. Number 11. Who's your favorite author? That is a hard question as well. I have lots of favorite authors. But I'm going to say Kimberly Lawson Roby, Nessa Davis Griggs. I'm going to leave it right there because I feel like I'm going to be leaving people out. I love Ashley Nicole Jackson. There's so many. I can't even tell you who my favorite author would be. Number 12. Do you buy used books? Yes. I prefer used books. I prefer used books because I don't like books to go to waste. I would never throw a book in the trash. And if somebody's going to get rid of a book, I don't mind reading it. They usually are priced very well. As long as they're not written in, they still have the front and back cover and all their pages. I love a used book. Number 13. What's a popular book everyone loved that you did not like? That would be Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. That book was so hard for me to read. It took me at least a good 3 weeks to read that book. And I wanted to finish it. I felt like maybe it'll get better, and I kept going on and on. It just kept getting sadder and sadder. Before I Let Go was not a good book to me. Number 14. What book do you wish you can read again for the first time? So I did a video on this where I chose multiple books. For the purpose of this video, I am going to choose one book, which is Shooting Blindly in the Dark by Nicole Jackson. I enjoyed that book. I've read it multiple times. It is so good. Number 15. What is the first book you can remember reading and enjoying? The first book I remember reading and enjoying was To Kill a Mockingbird. I think I was maybe in 7th or 8th grade, and it was required reading. And I really enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, I haven't read it since then, so I may go back and read it again. I find that I wind up with a different perception the second time around. Number 17. Do you prefer standalone or series? I like a long book. I like a good book with a good story, with a good plot, a book that I could get lost in where I forget that I'm reading, a book that I cannot put down. If it's a standalone or a series, it does not matter, just so long as it has those qualifications. Number 18. Do you DNF books? And if yes, why? Yes, I DNF books. Here recently, I DNF'd a lot of books because I was in a reading slump and I was trying to find something to pique my interest, and I just couldn't. I will DNF a book if I'm 3 chapters in and I still can't get into it. Number 19. Your 3 favorite genres. So my 3 favorites is historical fiction, Christian fiction, and urban fiction. And that's not in any particular order. Those are just my 3 faves. What book have you read multiple times? I have read The Good Stuff by Michelle Stimpson multiple times. I've probably read that book more times than I've read any other book. What book did you have an emotional reaction to? So I have never had a book that made me cry. I've had books that make me feel away. And The Yellow Wife definitely made me feel away. I didn't cry, but there were some points in the book that was kind of like, I don't believe it. But, I mean, not I don't believe it. I do believe it, but there were some things in the book that was just like, if I could be in that book, if I could be in that book with this mindset, probably wouldn't work out well for me. Not in the 1800s. That was my 21 questions. Hope you enjoyed it. And I am really hoping that you will join in with me in this book tag. Until next time, see you soon.